Alright, so around a year ago, actually, I made a video that has just now, as of yesterday, aged like milk. I don't know what year-old milk looks like, but probably not great if we're being honest. Around this time last year, Forge's Pledge and Jurassic Green came out, and both of those guns were kind of Rapid fire pulses weren't in a great spot. Peace of Mind still clears Jurassic Green, but Jurassic Green is actually not bad anymore. And Forge's Pledge was plagued by a bug that involved its sight being really weird. The red dot would jerk around a bit, and this was one of the only times that I've ever seen mouse and keyboard players actually going for Zen Moment on any weapon at all. It actually did help a bit with the way that the little red dot would jerk around and not actually be on your targets if you move too fast while ADSing, so that was pretty nice. However, these weapons have only gotten better, and their perk pools are changing. I don't actually know what Jurassic Green's perk pool is going to be when it comes back on Tuesday, but Jurassic Green is going to be available again, and it had some pretty solid perks. Jurassic Green is also one of the only, if not the only, rapid-fire pulse rifle that can get rangefinder, which does increase its zoom, and it can also get frenzy, which is just a really nice damage perk that you're pretty much always going to have up if you're playing sixes, but it'll come up fairly often if you're playing threes too. Multi-kill clip is really good as well, and Adrenaline Junkie is nice too because it does give a decent damage boost. Unrelenting is okay, but I'm not going to recommend it for PvP. Tunnel Vision, Killing Wind, and Heating Up, and even Threat Detector are also not bad for PvP, but Rangefinder is just significantly better. For PvE, you're probably going to want Subsistence and Adrenaline Junkie, or Subsistence, Unrelenting, or even Dragonfly, but I don't really like rapid fires in PvE. I will say though, as long as they don't remove Rangefinder or Frenzy from the perk pool, this thing is still going to be pretty damn good when it comes back. And given the fact that there were no hand cannon buffs listed in the TWAB yesterday, and that they're changing lightweight SMGs, this is going to be really nice. Forge's Pledge isn't going to, it's not going to have quick draw anymore when it comes back, but that's not a big deal. You didn't really need quick draw on this thing anyway. It's got decent enough handling. There's lots of different barrel options that you can pick between that'll help with that. Accurized rounds is definitely what I'd recommend going for in the mag slot. If not, then either steady or extended mag. And you don't need Zen Moment anymore because they did seem to fix the sight drift a bit. I'd recommend going for either Surplus, Tunnel Vision, or Heating Up. Stats for All is just not going to be great. Snapshot's alright, but not necessary. Rampage kind of sucks in PvP right now, for pulses at least. Multi-kill clip or elemental capacitor is definitely going to be better. Iron grip is alright too. It definitely gets your stability up there, but at the same time it does tank your reload speed, so if you go for iron grip, flared magwell or even alloy mag wouldn't be the worst idea. But Elicap isn't a bad idea. Multi-kill clip is pretty nice. The other perks are just kind of eh. For PvE, I guess you can get stats for all, one for all, which I know a lot of people like, but I also don't know a lot of people that like using adaptive pulses in PvE, so there's that. But adaptive pulses are getting a pretty big buff. This one's not bad, and Iron Banner comes back in November, so if you don't have one of these, you are going to have to wait till after Festival of the Lost to get it, but at the same time, that gives you time to try out the Jurassic Green and see if you actually like that. If you don't want to wait though, there is a better option. The Yesteryear is a Gambit adaptive frame pulse rifle, and it got a lot of attention at first because, yeah, it can roll Desperado, but unfortunately, they murdered Desperado, and they made it sound like they murdered it so that it could be put on different weapons, like, you know, maybe a hand cannon or something, but no. They didn't want to give DFA any reason to be usable. Instead, they put it on two more pulse rifles, one of them being exactly the same frame as the last one that had it, so that was a little questionable, and that was the season that they did change it. They didn't give us this until a whole season after they murdered the perk. So, yeah. However, I still wouldn't recommend going for it on this. You can use the Suros Synergy Origin trait on this, which is really nice. That gives it a leg up on the Iron Banner one, because the Iron Banner Origin trait is pretty mid. In the first slot, you have things like Under Pressure, Outlaw, and Perpetual Motion, which is really nice. And in the second, you've got Multi-kill clip, you've got Desperado, if you still really want to use that. Golden Tricorn isn't bad, but Eye of the Storm is the best one for sure for dueling. You're going to want to use that for threes or for Rumble or something like that. It's definitely just one of the most reliable perks in the game. Repulsor Brace is okay. Rampage, I'm still not a fan of it on pulses. Pugilist is okay, but if you're using a pulse rifle, I wouldn't really recommend getting that close to people in PvE. I mean, in PvP. Over Under, I honestly have not used this one very much, but it seems okay. But yeah, so these are just a bunch of options that you can use based off the new information we got from the TWAB yesterday. If you you guys found this helpful, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that shit. Later.